Hello, welcome back to my channel Roy Reads Anything, where April has been Giant April, a month for reading, watching and otherwise exploring the world of giant apes and monsters. So that's an event with some groovy co-hosts, Annie from Obscure Book Adventures, Duncan from Back Away from the Donkey, and some participants too, and there's a playlist down below of stuff I've come across where people have joined in the fun. So this is my probably last video for this particular event, which has been great. I mean, I've really enjoyed working with the hosts, who two of my favourite humans of BookTube, so that's been good. And also cool to see, so I just turned a light on, by the way. I think wondering why the quality of light might have changed. They work better if you turn them on. It's
weird,
it's a sort of, not sure if that's a bug or a feature.
Kettle does that as well.
I know. So as we begin another field trip into the world of giant apes, who better to guide us than Charles Decker, mad scientist from the movie Conga?
Perhaps I'd better repeat. This is a study period, simply transferred from the classroom to an open field.
Anyway, yes, so good times all round. A few videos I've seen recently, genre books. Gavin's done loads and loads, all been great, and particularly had fun with the Giant April badge. There are a few more of those, by the way. Get in touch if you would like one. Jesse at Bartell's Bookshelf, he's done a few, and Daniel's Bibliography. It's not Daniel's Bibliography, is it?
Daniel's
Bibliophagy. Yes. Bibliophagy. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? It's got a sort of a poetic rhythm to it.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he's done a video which I haven't had a chance to watch yet, and loads more. So it's been fun for me reading adaptations of the original King Kong movie. We've been rendered into various forms of novelization and short stories, and also looking at some kind of King Kong copies, that kind of thing. And it's odd, isn't it? You know, if you look at history through the lens of the giant ape, in the 30s there was King Kong coming to New York, and later on, 76, another King Kong also comes to New York, as well as other sort of incursions, such as the AMOC going to the other side of America, to climb up the Golden Gate Bridge, and of course the rather dubious experiment of Queen Kong being brought to London, where seen on Climbing Big Ben. Big Ben also was an attraction for conga in the early 1960s. So these things are kind of a strange alternate history, really. I was expecting this reading event to take me to some exotic places like Skull Island, where King Kong comes from, the Hollow Earth, where the latest movie with King Kong is largely set. I wasn't expecting to be taken, however, to Surrey. Surrey is the setting for Gigantic by Ashley Stokes, which I heard about on Gavin's Genre Books channel. So this book is great, and the ape in question is Bigfoot, a Gigantopithecus, seen in the environs of Sutton in Surrey. I've never been to... Being from the next county, or an adjacent county, Sussex, I've always been slightly suspicious of Surrey. Having read this, I can see why. But there's a side to Surrey I didn't know. I thought it was wall-to-wall golf courses and stockbroker belt housing. But apparently there are parts of Surrey that don't quite fit that description, which we get to explore in this book. So it's really funny. If you imagine, I don't know if you've read Nick Hornby's High Fidelity, where pop music is the thing, and the protagonist's obsession with popular music and particular records is the whole structure and theme of the novel. Imagine that done with cryptozoology, the hunting, the tracking of, by obsessed people, of cryptids, of beasts that are thought to be legendary or non-existent, but but they apparently are real, and there are people out to prove that. They're laden with equipment. So here we have a first-person book. This guy, Kevin Stubbs. Kevin Stubbs is a knower with a capital K, who is part of a small group trying to prove these sightings to be real. And this thing about Noah with a capital K, it's very much this kind of seizing on, the man doesn't believe in all this stuff, but we know more. We know that it's real, which can seem quite funny, but also it makes you question your own sort of, well, what do we think's real? Maybe we're all knowers in a sense. So yeah, very funny. And what else did I think about it? Treats the subject matter, human and cryptid, with respect as well, which I think is, you need that to make things actually be amusing. Although, well, I'll leave it up to you as potential readers of this book to discover whether the Gigantopithecus is real or not, but it's depicted in the same kind of serene, uncanny way that you see in some of the best, whether it's Doctor Who or there's a Hammer film where people are looking for abominable snowmen in the mountains. And there is this kind of, I can only say this uncanny vibe to the sort of Yeti. It's great how it treats the whole obsession thing, and books like this, which are basically built around a strong concept, can be hard to end. Sometimes they just sort of stop being. This has great ending, it's emotionally satisfying, and it's a proper book. If you see what I mean. Ashley Stokes, Gigantic, fantastic. That's probably my last Big Ape read of the event. Stuff I'm looking forward to. That apparently there's been some comics with the Justice League of America meeting King Kong and Godzilla, not just the DC Universe kind of big monster equivalents of those, but the actual ones that's coming out as a book as in a collection of the comics in July. So I'll get that. These old films I've not seen Son of Kong yet, not seen Mighty Joe Young yet, haven't seen the 1986 King Kong Lives movie, even though I've bought a copy. Just can't quite get round to putting it into the machine and pressing the button. So lots of Big Ape shenanigans to look forward to. But I think I'll finish with one of the things people have liked best about these videos has been the reading I did from the novelisation of Conga.
No.
So Conga, 1962 movie, often shown at tea time for when the kiddies could be watching it. Bizarrely, has a highly sexualized novelisation by Dean Owen. So I'm just going to read you a little passage of the boudoir revelations
Please.
of.
Please.
So this is where, what's her name? Ella? No, Margaret. Margaret, the lab assistant to the mad scientist. She's fed up with Charles Decker, the mad scientist, giving her the cold shoulder and running after one of the young students. So she thinks it's a game two of us can play. So Gormless rugby student Bob is round at her house, this is not in the film. It's not even alluded to in the film. Right? This is new. As with lots of novelizations, extra stuff added in, which can, add depth to the reading of the core thing. But anyway, yeah. So Bob, according to the comics, who goes on to become a senior academic in the field of genetics, he's round at her house, and this is what happens. She got up and swayed over to where he was seated in the deep armchair. Smiling down on his uncertain face, she recklessly lowered herself to his lap, and when she kissed him, she realized instantly that he was totally aware that she sat on his lap. "Bob, you're a strong young man. Let me see if you're strong enough to pick me up in your arms." He hesitated, then stood up, Margaret clinging to his neck. I don't think we should do this." His voice trailed away.
I agree.
She could feel but yes, this is the foreshadowing, isn't it? Because eventually Conga the Ape's going to be holding her in ape arms.
Big ape arms.
And there's more to this than...
Accidentally, I suspect there's more to it than...
Yeah, it could be. She could feel the burning of his cheek against hers. "A real test of strength now, Bob," she whispered. "Carry me upstairs." He set her down, his face flaming. "No, I think I'd better be going." When he hurried for the door, she blocked it, throwing her arms wide and arching her back so that her breasts were more prominently displayed. "Watch me carefully, Bob," she whispered with a crazy laugh. And as he stared, she unzippered her dress, whipped it over her head and threw it across the back of a chair. "Don't you young men go down to London to see the strippers?" "No, I've seen their pictures in the magazines." "This is your own private show, Bob. You don't need magazines." With exaggerated slowness, she removed the rest of her clothing. Her hand over her head, she made him a slow turn. Smiling, she kicked one bare leg towards him, then the other.
Are you going to stop now?
Nearly.
Please.
His mouth hung open, his large hands wide from his body, as if he considered her an opponent to be taken out of play on the rugby field. Under her tantalising display, whatever moral wall he tried to erect crumbled as if atomised. He charged, pinning her against the door with his mouth, his hands. In his eagerness, he fumbled and mauled, and she had to give the directions. She wasn't going to be taken there and then.
Left hand down a bit, right hand up a bit.
She wasn't going to be taken there on the floor with a chilling draught seep through the front door, sweeping her into it. That's such a suburban moment.
Yeah.
It's a bit drafty here.
I can actually picture that hallway in all the detail from the ripply frosted glass panel in the top of the door.
Well, we
might have little colours in it.
We've all been there. Sweeping her into his arms, at her insistence, he stumbled up the stairs and flung her on the bed. "Take off your clothes," she had to remind him. I'm going to stop there. So, novelizations teach you about human relationships, extend the original material into new and unexpected territory. Okay, so that for me probably is the end of, what did I call it? Giant April. That's my last reading event for a while. So King Kong is dead, but long live Hugh Walpole.
I said let me down!